Hello everyone and welcome on De Papier de Rêve channel. I'm Ursula and today I will be painting with you a landscape with big cloud. I'm starting this painting by wetting my area a lot with just my brush and water so that all the color can flow and mix together on the paper directly, and I will get that way very smooth edges everywhere. I like to work wet on wet with skies because I think it's a little bit better for the smoothness, and the effect obtained with this technique will be a bit more natural than with hard edges. My reference picture is a photo I've taken in France with a very large cloud lightened by the sunset. So there is a lot of colors in this cloud, and it's quite an interesting picture because of the weird shape of the cloud. And if you want to see my reference picture, it will be available on the blog as usual, and you can find the link in the description just below the video. It's not my first time trying to paint this scene because a few weeks ago I tried to paint it with oil painting. It was my almost first time with oil painting. I've started a few weeks ago and I will not be doing a lot of it because I cannot do it in my home right now because I live in a small apartment and it's not very safe to use oil in a small place. But I was able to try anyway, and it was quite fun and quite interesting. It's a really different medium, but somehow a little bit similar to watercolor by the transparency of the layers. But it's I can understand how people think that watercolor is very hard, because with oil you can just either swipe your layer away with solvent or try to paint something on top of your existing layer and correct your mistake. You have so much time to correct and to just layer the paint on other layers. But with watercolor, if you make a mistake, either you go with it and it's totally okay, or you have to try again and start with a new sheet of paper. So I can understand now why people think watercolor is difficult, but as I started with watercolor, for me it's not that difficult to just either correct mistakes or try again and again and again. But anyway, let's go back to the painting of today. So my first layer is almost done. Everything is very soft, and I think you can starting to recognize the scene. It starts to take quite a nice shape, and with the layer after that, it will even become better. So while this layer is drying, I will talk you through the supplies I've used for this painting. For the brushes, I'm using an Escoda Último 1 inch. And for the colors, I'm using Indanthrene blue, Cobalt blue, Winsor red, burnt sienna, and a little bit of nickel azo yellow. And my paper is Canson Héritage in rough. Now that my first layer is really dry, you can see all the softness of the cloud, but also the colors are a little bit lighter because watercolor always dry lighter than you put it at first on the paper. So I have to go back and densify all the colors so that they pop a little bit more, and that's what I'm doing right now. And I'm adding a little bit of Cobalt blue in the Indanthrene blue I've used at first, because Cobalt blue is a little bit opaque and a little bit bluer, if possible. I think it's the right tone for the sky, and it helps with making the cloud pop a little bit more by darkening a little bit, but still with a blue tone and not a dark black tone. For this painting, I've chosen to work my sky with layers. So I'm using 3 layers. You will see a third layer a bit later to define the shape of the cloud and everything. But I don't think, or I don't know if it's a good strategy for painting a sky. And the more I was painting the other layer of this sky right now, I was thinking in myself, maybe it would be better if I was able to make the sky very strong at first in one layer, just one layer. Because when I was painting the view of the Baltic Sea a few videos away, I did paint this sky in just one layer, and it felt very fresh and very natural. And that's this feeling I want to get in my sky, something fresh and something natural. And putting layer upon layers kill a little bit the freshness of the subject. So I think I have to try to make a sky with just one layer. It will be difficult, but I think it will help me to find a little bit more freshness and a little bit more interest in my sky. For this painting, I'm using just one brush. This brush you are able to see on the screen. It's a flat brush, quite big, with synthetic hair. And you know I like a lot natural hair brush because they hold a lot of water and they are very, very soft. But this one with synthetic hair from Escoda is really, really good. The brush is really, really soft, almost as soft as a natural hair brush. So that's good, and it holds a lot of water too. And it's all synthetic, so it's quite nice to have such a good brush with synthetic hair. And I do like a lot using flat brush for landscape because I think it's a nice tool to help you make some abstract marks in your landscape. Because it's a really big brush and it's flat, you have to find ways to use it to make the mark you want. So sometimes I'm using all the brush, but sometimes just the tip, which is very fine in this one, even if it's a big brush. Or sometimes I'm using just the corner of the brush, and with all this mark making I'm able to do almost everything. And it's very pleasant to try some mark making and find ways to make texture with it. You can see on this painting that the land is not my focus point at all. Everything is very blurry. There is not a lot of definition in the landscape, in the trees and in the plain just in front of it, because I want my focus point to be the cloud. And I'm sorry for this painting not centered at all in the frame. I think with 3 weeks I've passed in France, I forgot everything about recording a video. But anyway, after a quick dry for this painting, I'm adding the last details, and I think my cloud is not defined enough for me, so I'm adding a lot of darker colors and other colors also. And my lighting is not ideal right now. It's very dark in Stockholm at this time of the year, so I'm using a backlight behind me, and it's kill a little bit of all the colors I'm using. So you will be able to see the color a little bit more on the blog post and also at the end of the video with the shoot of my painting. It was a nice painting to make after a few weeks without painting, and I enjoy this painting quite a lot, but I want really to try to make the same painting maybe in one shot, one layer, and that's it, maybe next time. And this video is now ending. Thanks for watching and I hope you like it. Please check the blog post for more information about it and for better picture of this painting, and tell me what you think in the comments. See you soon.